Luna timings. But that being said, XG do have a very good scaling lineup.
You fight during the nighttime. You have Luna, Night Stalker. I don't think you can ask for anything better on this one. And he still has Blinding Void on Night Stalker. So that means the first 5 minutes, it's going to be daytime. And also, it works the similar way as, you're losing the vision of the hero dealing extra damage. So they can't save you. So this Tinker will not be able to save people. That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
This much vision on a hero. You see nothing.
A tiny amount of vision, but indeed does mean that maybe Xtreme will be given a little bit more time.
I don't think there is any time for them to play Dota 2 in this game.
Jeez.
Like, minimal.
The issue is once Night Stalker hits 6, he's going to make a play on either Storm or Muerta, and it feels like it might actually be easier to bring your heroes to Muerta's lane and pressure her way too hard.
Well, I know one person that believes in the draft, even if you guys don't. It's, of course, Coach Maps, who is right now standing by with Nomad.
Thank you very much, Shiva. Yes, indeed. So the first question I would like to ask is, what do you feel like makes Muerta a good pick in this game for the last pick?
英雄，你觉得是有什么让你觉得最后一选是好的呢？
这英雄就是我们在之前的时候，就是前2天的时候 ，AME 嘛，他有去认真的研究过，然后就不管他就跟我们说的是，不管对面选什么都是他，就是这个阵容就为这个英雄搭配。
So Ame, for the past 2 days, specified that Muerta is very strong, and he studied the hero, and he said, no matter what they pick me Muerta.
Oh my goodness, that is some extreme confidence. All right. I guess confidence is high then. I mean, do you think you're going to be able to beat the Spirit team?
就你们很有信心，你觉得能打败 Spirit 吗？
已经谈不上吧，我毕竟雪碧是个很厉害的队伍，我们打好自己。
I wouldn't say very confident, because Spirit is a very strong team. All we have to do is play our best.
That's all you can do. Good luck as we get into game number 1 with Odie Pixel and Fogged.
The battle begins.
Thank you very much, Nomad. Yes, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Time for some more action down in the lower bracket. Xtreme Gaming up against Team Spirit. We're going to see who's able to hold on and survive in this competition and the road to the international. Some fantastic comments there. So Ame was just like,
give me Muerta.
Just give me Muerta. That's a bold move, Fogged.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can see versus like Omni Knight, yeah, there's some reasons that you could want this hero, and I think more people have been asking for it because it is a super hard scaling carry. It's just the question is, are they going to get there? Because this looks like an incredibly greedy draft that XG has gone for. I know that's kind of their style for the most part, but oh man, I think they kicked up the greed onto like level 9 or something.
That's true. They need a lot of money to get this lineup online on Xtreme Gaming. We'll see if they get the chance to get there. Team Spirit, on the other hand, looking at their draft, what does their lineup sort of say to you?
It's fast, it's tempo-based, but it also has great scaling. They've got kind of like a mini tricore between the DK, Luna, and the Night Stalker, even though the NS can go down more of a early tempo build as top. XXS might just die here.
Oh. I think he will. Final Lucid Beam comes through there, Radan. It's going to be able to start this game off with a first blood.
Yeah, so across the board, I would say Spirit, they have a great way to set tempo. They have great ways to fight early. And yeah, that could definitely be a key to success for them to play versus XG with pretty okay. Actually, both team fights are a little bit lackluster, but I think Spirit maybe having an edge just because Luna now can get involved with the Eclipse. Snapfire Kisses are going to be a bit of an edge on that one too. So we'll have to see how the lanes do kick off. First blood does happen right off the bat.
And talk to me a little bit about this your final pick, the Night Stalker, right? Not a thing that a lot of teams are playing with, and interestingly enough, this time round, in comparison to what I believe we saw the other time with the Night Stalker pick, Collapse taking the alternative facet.
Yeah, I mean, of course his lane is going to be a little bit worse, but throughout the game, it's pretty good because you're actually doing way more damage, and you're also just making it so one target cannot really be bailed out of bad situations. So versus something like a Muerta carry, which
top lane revenge to be had here by Xtreme as they take Maposhka down.
But yeah, it's gonna make that early start just a little bit slower, of course. But overall, you know, I'm super down with people experimenting a little bit because I think this hero needs to be experimented more. Only seen one so far from this tournament.
So far, mid lane matchup here between Lyle and XM on the DK Storm. Pretty close, a little bit of an edge here for the Storm. Getting a few denies in against the DK early. We'll see if that continues.
To be expected. I think Storm overall has been starting to look very strong overall in this in the tournament, just because it's a scaling mid laner as well, besides just being a spellcaster. So I'm actually glad to see it a little bit more. I know we saw it a bunch in that last series, so.
Top lane. See them try and get aggressive again here. Scorched Earth. Radan and Maposhka ready to trade back.
I still can't believe that we're doing XG versus Spirit in the lower bracket. It's Ame versus Radan down here. It's pretty insane. Maposhka will protect. Sure that he gets that Lotus. It looks like Tinker on the opposite side was able to get it. Definitely going to be a bit of a slower start here for X. Very strong lane Spirit has gone for.
Yeah.
But on the flip side too, Muerta is going to be getting that good farm with DY backing him up, especially until nighttime hits. You know, next 2 minutes or so should be quite free for Ame.
I mean, when the nighttime hits as well, do you see an opportunity in this lane for Team Spirit to get aggressive with these two heroes? Like, what will their level of strength be like with the Snap and Nightstalk when the first nighttime hits?
If they bring a third hero, I think it's a little weird sometimes getting too aggressive in Tinker. You have to be a bit cautious. As a
lovely shots here being hit by Arme. He's getting some beautiful angles and Collapse getting bullied right back underneath the tower. DY's going to be able to chase him down a little bit, really cause some issues for his farming in this lane. As Collapse not having an easy time during the daytime. Mira comes back into the lane, and again, Arme able to make the connection. Collapse, he's kind of stuck in a bit of an awkward spot.
He's
and
dodging the
DY,
march.
oh, indeed. He's going to make it back safely. Collapse living on the edge here. Arme, another shot comes in though, and Arme, he's shooting them down on this bottom lane. We heard it at the start, right? He wanted to play some Muerta. He's getting to do that, turning up and shooting them down easily, getting early kills here in the safe lane.
Lacoste did say, right? I think he was saying, what, 90-something matches in 8 days? So, like, Ame has definitely been fiending. So, very nice connections there. 2 early kills. Very nice. Doom is suffering, though. So, on the flip side, you know, both of these offlaners are going to have that rough start.
Oh, easy curry there for XM. Able to step up onto the high ground, take that one down away from Lal. Dundee continues to hold the advantage. About a full creep wave CS lead against that of Lal's DK.
Let's see what overall DY does do as this Tinker. You know, it's been a bit of a mixed thing, I think, for some teams. We saw, of course, Mira. He played it the other day. It's not like he looked bad on it, but we were mentioning, you know, it just felt a little weird on him. So let's see overall, it's a 5-position Tinker, how much he's going to be able to do in terms of just healing, sustaining, and protecting some of the cores versus some of this lockdown. And that's where maybe the Night Stalker can come into play to prevent some of those heals or, you know, protection that a Tinker can provide. And nighttime has been hit.
See how much this starts to sort of change the dynamic of this bottom lane, and if Collapse is able to begin the catch-up.
It would more just farm a little bit easier, but they can pose kill threat, especially if like a third hero comes down. And I think that's probably what I'm looking at. If like an Omni or a DK comes down, set up for those kills on them. Besides that, probably level 6 on Snapfire is one of the best tools. That's of course going to take some time.
Healing.
Courier.
Has been killed.
And we'll see some of the supports head over for the 6-minute power rune. Yeah, already getting a bit of focus shifted over towards this.
Spirit double checking because they're playing versus that bottle. Laurel not having one, he can actually apply a lot of pressure here too. Having the catapult.
Top lane, they do try and go on Radan whilst he's been left alone with that movement over towards the mid. They won't be able to get him. They do bring him down very low. In fact, the aggression in the mid coming in from Team Spirit.
Oh, and this tower.
Forcing XM all the way back.
This tower needs help. They still have the catapult in mid.
I mean, it doesn't look like Xtreme are going to...
Xingqiu has to arrow it. Like, that's their best solution to deal with this push right now, but it's too late.
Yeah, this first push coming in with the Dragon Form, and indeed with that catapult, it's going to get the job done. Team Spirit, 6.5 minutes in, they'll take that tier 1 mid down.
That's pretty huge. Like, Laurel having this type of start can definitely have a snowball effect onto those side lanes. He has a 700 gold differential versus that Storm now.
Yeah, and just versus the team, the lineup that's going to need time.
It's greedy. It's so greedy by XG.
Poshka, he's going to try his luck.
He does have the repel. He's going to get this grab.
Arrows in, they've got the control. They'll be able to make sure he doesn't grab the wisdom, and they'll certainly be able to take his life. XM comes across and is ready to pick up the kill himself. Same time down bottom, Collapse. Getting pretty low.
That was kind of weird. He didn't repel before just walking into the room, so he got stunned. He could have just probably repelled first, but slight little mess up there from Maposhka. Bottom, DY, maybe now also getting overzealous.
I think so. Didn't expect Mira to be coming in from the sidelines. Tries to get the defense matrix off, does, but it's not enough to save him, so DY will fall under the tower.
Ame?
He's going to be left on his own for now. There's a bit of a rotation coming over from Lal. I mean, Lal's just going to be ready to go with the next Dragon Form if the chance is there to start pressuring some more towers.
Yeah, he's just going to pop in and farm down in the area. They're going to keep tabs of it because of that ward, but Naposhka, he's just going to go mid. He's like, okay, I need some experience. DK, you can kind of keep threatening bottom because you're still down there, and I get all this free XP, so... Spirit, good aggressive moves. Of course, 4 kills for XG. But Spirit, at least with the 2 top cores at the moment, looking good. Let's see if they can find Radan.
It's a nice attempt there. Tried to get the catch with the dead shot onto Radan.
Can't quite.
Not quite able to do so. If that hits and he's able to push him back, would have had the chance to go for the kill with the Doom. But they let Radan live, and they'll just focus their efforts over towards the tower instead here with Ame.
I like this move. Ame, he saw the DK pretty much playing on the bottom side, so he's like, all right, I'm just going to leave that area, at least get some tower pressure. And cool to see the build. This is the carry, Ame, right? Carry Muerta. No calling. 3-0-2. He's going to go straight down that farming route. Pretty interesting.
That should allow him to farm at a pretty impressive pace.
Yeah. Ooh, they're going to look to defend down here. Mira, not quite 6.
Collapse is able to get the setup.
I mean,
Got the numbers on XG. Could be a bit difficult for Team Spirit to enter into this. I mean, Collapse is trying to see if we can find the squishies first.
Level 6 has been hit on the Muerta.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Diving under March can be a little bit difficult, especially if you don't have the big damage burst and they don't quite have those kisses. Radan getting stalked. Might just get gone on here.
They're going to have the setup. XM's in. XXS able to follow up. Drops the Doom down. TPs will be coming in. But there will be no saving Radan as XG get the big pick off.
Nice play. Very good patience there. They're moving around the map nicely. I mean, they're reading the movements that's coming out so far from Spirit. DY to kill inevitably get caught.
I mean, Ame's going to try and
Ame
show his face, but he's on his own here against the 3 of them. He's got the ultimate ready to fight back a little bit.
Oh, he is surrounded.
And he's got Jing Q from the side, but I don't know how much the Mirana could do to help out. The arrow is not going to connect Ame. Taken out underneath the tower here by the 3 of them.
That's a save your buddy syndrome if I've ever seen one. Really wanted to try to help out DY, but ends up just giving his life and his courier, now potentially his tower too. That was a bit of a painful death there for Ame.
I guess a bit of balance. Both carries end up getting taken out on each respective side of the map.
I just feel like Luna, though, overall, compared to Muerta, if you get slowed down a little on Luna, it's not as big as a deal as if I'm for a Muerta. You farm fast, but you're super immobile on the Muerta.
Alal trying to continue the pressure. They're getting a lot of damage done to what would be Team Spirit's second tier 1 tower that they're close to being able to take away from Xtreme.
Queued up. And as we expect, I mean, it has to be minus, of course, when you've got this facet, but yeah, very greedy route that they're going to be going down on the side of XG. See what Spirit does to capitalize that and put the pressure on him. Waiting to see. Collapse has shown that he is going to go for this Blink Dagger. We'll see how aggressive he does want to be these next few moments. He has Dark Ascension. Even though it's daytime, they can look to fight on the side of Spirit. They have kisses available.
Well, let's see who XG want to go for with this smoke. They've got the 3 of them making the move. I mean, who are you looking towards? Do you want to go for the Night Stalker, or are you ignoring the Night Stalker and looking to go elsewhere?
At least, I think team fighting looks complicated. I think they want these pickoffs, but they're going to try the Omni.
They look for the setup in the mid, but Lars quick with the jump over towards Muerta.
Ame
coming in as well. Ame just gets taken out immediately. They're now ready to look for more Spirit. I mean, Collapse has turned up.
Nice
they're in on top of the Storm Spirit. XM's taken down.
That was...
I mean, they're looking for fights, folks, but I don't know if they want to be looking for them at all.
I have to agree, Owen. I mean, they know that they have all their ultis at the ready, especially the kisses, which for Ame, he has to, I think anytime kisses are up, he can't show up to fight. You're just a free kill. You're super immobile. You get it by 1. It's very hard to reset position, and it's a perfect blink over from Laurel. That felt weird. I mean, it felt like they really wanted to force the issue of trying to catch them split up, but Spirit just super prepared. And they're way stronger in this early game.
I mean, Lars watching for the side. He's going to be ready to go again. He's in with the Blink Dragon Tail stun to open things up. Mirage will get sent back by the dead shot, so just give a bit of safety for the 2 of them. Backup's coming in. It's a big zip from XM. The GA will come out from my posture in an attempt to keep the 2 of them alive, but it won't save them from the magical, as XG will bring down the Omni Knight.
5 heroes to bring down that Omni. I mean, that says a lot when they're like, okay, everybody needs to be there to protect Ame if he's going to get gone on, but a lot of time spent to just do that. At the least they'll be able to get this tower, it does look like.
I mean, because it definitely feels like Ame's probably the one making the aggressive calls here, right? He's saying, I want to fight, I want to go for this tower, I want to play for objectives. And it's giving us some crazy action, but maybe not action that in the long run will favor XG. We'll have to see. Still, the numbers stay close. They take the tier 1 in the mid, 6-6. 1k gold lead across the board, though, for Spirit, as Radan on his Luna just able to be that little bit more efficient right now as the carry.
And I feel like we've seen this a lot with these Lunas versus some of these other carries that don't farm as fast or have some pressure, like have some difficulty moving around the map as quick, because Luna's very fast. He's almost level 10 on Radan. So he's got almost a three level disparity as well on top of that gold disparity. That just means you're going to farm that much faster and also be able to be involved in fights soon. So it is XG's approach, right? They're going greed, but just was surprising that they did try to go for that early jump. And looking at the items, XM is going to go down Witchblade, which is I mean, we'll see if he does. But Orchid is also very valuable and something perhaps necessary versus Omni Knight in a lot of these games.
Dire are scanning.
Poshka, as the Omni, having great ways to bail out anyone that gets jumped, whereas as we're seeing on XG, if any sort of time Lyle's able to get the jump onto Arme with the Dragon Tail, not a whole lot they can do outside of a defense matrix coming in. That's going to have to be the best thing that they can do to try and save each other.
Blink and Dark Ascension at the ready. They see Jin Q. They're just going to take him. And maybe even look for a Wisdom Rune steal at the same time, as the rest of them are still smoked. So they don't show anybody. It's a solo kill, and they're setting up for this rune.
They might be able to find themselves a second support kill here, depending on how careful DY is.
Oh, and they might take out all these Ancients. Look at how low they are. Juicy. Good scan comes out.
DY is going to be found over the trees. Collapse sees him. Arme's TP'd in. I mean, Lyle's going to be able to pick up the Wisdom Rune. XG, they're going to try and fight it. They go for Maposhka. Maposhka's going to get burst by XM. See what more they can find from this one as XM continues to stay on top of Mira. Mira's going to opt for the TP out. The dead shot, though, it's there from Arme. Gets the angle and sets up for XM to get a double.
Hey, good call to rally everybody. And they actually, it's a frame. It's a split second from them getting the Night Stalker, too. He threw the net. He actually moved out of range of the silence on XXS through the net, but it literally was mid-air to catching Collapse as well. So good reaction. Ame, Radon, of course, still farming freely, but they'll get some nice kills. Nighttime is about to be coming around about 10 seconds. But they've stabilized the gold.
And I imagine with these moments, I mean, XG, do you think we will continue to see them go for smoke plays? They're very close to what the Blink Dagger on the Doom, so that's definitely going to be a point where I can imagine that anything's to go by for the gameplay so far. Arme will probably say, hey, let's try and look for a fight, get involved himself.
It does feel like it.
He doesn't seem afraid of fighting.
Yep, they are it's a very farm-heavy draft, but they're still looking for these engagements, which is pretty cool. During the nighttime, perhaps a little bit harder. During the day, they can do these type of plays to kind of play around that Night Stalker and that Luna Night Vision, but...
Radan.
Up top, UI gets caught.
A freebie here for Spirit. Yeah, Radan just getting all the space in the world to be on the path to doing what many a Luna has done so far this tournament.
Absolutely.
When they've had this sort of freedom in this opening 15 minutes. You know, perfect farm from him so far. The Luna's going to have to, they're going to have an answer for the Luna down the line, Xtreme Gaming.
Absolutely. I mean, they have the Doom, right? But they do have a Tricore on the side of Spirit. And not always the easiest to get to this Luna. And I mean, he's got a Manta already finished up. Crazy amount of farm. It's already 3,000 gold ahead of the Muerta. Well, pretty much a full item.
And how do you even close that gap?
It's through fighting.
Kind of carry matchup.
It's got to be through like some big fight. I mean, Ame is getting closer and closer to this Mjolnir, but it feels like it can't just be some sit back and farm to try to catch up on a Muerta. In order to catch up and farm them, yeah. But it's like, if they take the fights at this point, it does feel a little bit complicated, especially around nighttime. Collapse. Trying to push the issue here.
XXS able to farm the camp and get back to the high ground in time, so stay safe.
They don't have a glyph for this tier 2. They're gonna send the Tinker down. It's spotted. And they'll give the respect to DY. Not gonna dive forward for him. Maybe expecting a smoke rotation like they baited him earlier.
I mean, just any sort of pressure that Team Spirit apply like this and get the response from Xtreme Gaming out with, they just know that Radan is just completely safe. Like, there's no threat to Radahn being hunted down.
And this is interesting. XXS, he's, of course, doing the changing of items. It's a full Shivas that he has right now. So maybe now for this upcoming fight, this is the tool that he wants to just be able to jump in, like just run in with that Storm and give them extra damage and things to prevent some of that healing.
Yeah, I mean, I'd imagine so. It really is the case that XG, even with what on paper looks to be a greedy lineup, they're not afraid of looking to fight relatively early. 17 minutes in. They're ready to look for action and to get Arme on this Muerta involved very early on.
Absolutely. Laurel, Orchid is finished, so now overall XM does have to be very careful with his positioning. Radahn dancing around that night vision. He sees the Storm. He'll just be able to walk away. Level 15 Luna, level 11 Muerta, and farm just continues to grow and grow. Ame does have Mjolnir, and he's found an Iron Talon also, so his farm is going to increase. It's going to start getting faster. But Luna can get involved now. Luna can start fighting a little easier, it feels. Catching the Luna, a task a lot of teams are trying to figure out. Spirit, still 1 minute and 40 seconds until that daytime, trying to put as much pressure on the map as possible during it.
Setting up around the tier 2 Extreme.
Is under attack.
All 5 of them. They've got the full Mjolnir.
They know the fight's coming.
Arme still vulnerable, though, if the jump is made upon him. And this is, again, just more time that they're having to sort of stay positioned under their tower. Well, Spirit able to move around the map a little more freely during this night time.
Good map read, though. They know that Spirit's looking to make these aggressive moves. They keep getting tabs of it. Again, they're going to see it, so... Let's see how they look to huddle off of that one. And let's see if Spirit looks to maybe potentially try to force a Roshan soon also. Their lineup does take that one very quickly, and they have a great team fight around it. They saw XXS with this deep ward on the bottom side, farming this hard camp, but that's pretty much all he's been farming. He's not pushing the limits going out for the secondary camp, which is saving his life in a few scenarios. And their Tricore is starting to get comfortable position too. It's kicking off to be a pretty good and pretty explosive mid-game team fight, it feels like, from both sides, because both are just getting to finish up these items. It's that Luna who has that big difference.
Spirit, majority of them coming up to this top side of the map. So pressuring the tier 1, it's not going to be too easy with the setup that Xtreme Gaming have.
I'm checking tabs for BKB timings because this game state's kind of slow. It feels like teams could perhaps look to wait for those. Luna's about to have hers finished. DK has one component, and Night Stalker's about hers. So maybe Spirit, when they've got double BKBs, could look to force at least that Roche that we were talking about from earlier, and see how Spirit wants to react, or see how XG wants to react first, because they're also pretty much done with one of the BKBs. XM does have it done. We'll let him have access into the fights and allow him to pick and choose the targets, because without a BKB on Storm, he cannot go into these fights. But with it, he doesn't have to fear this Night Stalker nearly as much. They're getting away with the greed. Spirits, I feel like they're not able to apply as much pressure as they wanted to.
And can Spirit's lineup go for a Roshan very easy?
Yeah, they absolutely can. But the thing is, like, XG they're getting just a lot of farm on the map. Like, even the Marana and the Tinker, they're starting to get their scaling going. Seeing the Omni Knight and the Snapfire starting to fall behind. So Spirit might feel pressure to make a move soon.
Radiant's top tower is
But
under
they're strong,
attack.
so where they look to go for it. DY, he's got mech, he's got the Holy Locket, he's got the Philly Stone, so it's going to increase to get that farm. Same thing for Jin Q. He's got Solar Crest, he's got the Philly Stone. They're all in on the greed. Right now, it's, I mean, yeah, looking pretty okay, looking pretty decent.
Super close. 21 minutes in, just a bit of a difference how the wealth is split between the heroes. The Spirit being a bit more top-heavy, that Radahn.
Mira, he's got a pipe. All right, I mean, it feels like they are getting ready to go for that fight. BKB is about to be done on Night Stalker. BKB's done on the Luna. They've got a pipe on the Snap, so it feels like Roshan forcing is going to be the call here for Spirit pretty soon. But XG, it looks like they're probably going to look to fight back into it because of how much time they've gotten to get these core items.
I mean, it looks like they saw the DK show mid, so the initial movement there was seemingly an attempt to cut him off from connecting with the rest of the team. They weren't able to get there in time, though, so Lyle should be able to make it back towards the rest of the squad for potentially a 5-on-5 here.
This is a huge fight. Let's see how it ends up going down.
And whether Spirit are patient enough to wait for this, or if they do get tempted to start tackling the Roshan.
Stay time for another 2.5 minutes. Does, of course, have Dark Ascension, but he doesn't have the...
They're going to know that they're there. Korea gets sniped, but that will give Spirit the information.
Spirit might look to collide into them.
We've got a bit of time left on this smoke. At the same time, Xtreme Gaming, they're going to know that Spirit know after killing off that courier.
The macro movements coming out in this game. Both reading each other kind of beautifully.
See who's going to get jumped
See
first.
Ame.
There's the jump. They're going to try and burst through Ame. Is there any sort of save ready for him? No. There is not. Ame gone immediately. As Spirit make the jump, and the rest of Xtreme Gaming, they've got to run.
XXS is very dead. No way to get out of this one.
Certainly not. It's going to get slowly but surely chased down by the by the four of them. As Team Spirit sweep across the map and catch out 2 massive picks there.
Beautiful kills. See what, and it looks like the call is just to shove down the lanes rather than look for that Roche. At least for now. Dark Ascension was used. It was scouted also. They saw collapse port down bottom. But 90 seconds. So, yeah, they got a pretty solid hit there. BKB's finished, and now Luna's farm, because they kill Ame. Ame's going to be slowed down, and Radan's going to get a huge surge of advantage above him.
Radan's just massive.
Yeah.
It's...
Radiant's top tower.
I think it's going to take some serious play from kind of XXS. He's got to get the Doom in. And even with that, it's still not going to be easy. And of course, with the build...
Oh, this is clever.
What we got?
This is really clever from XG. They saw that fight happening. They probably... Yeah, they know that they can just make this...
And Spirit's going to want to get down it, though. Yeah, the TPs are coming in. And I don't know if XG do this fast enough. Spirit, they should have a chance of contesting this one. It's just... It's safe. It's slow. They keep themselves at high HP XG. But the damage isn't going to be quick enough.
Oh, this is going to be a clash.
See if Spirit can time the jump in. Roshan falling low. The kisses are coming in. Ame standing his ground to finish it off. Ame's able to get the Aegis, get the pickup. The Doom gets dropped down, but the BK's already out, and Radan's ready to stand his ground. They take the Aegis out of Ame's hands almost immediately. They have lost Lyle for it. So XG, they want to try and fight on potentially. 5 versus 4. See if they can get further catch. Shinkyu popping the drums, chasing Spirit right down down the side of the lane, and they'll get the arrow connection. It looks like they'll just catch Mira as the rest of Spirit are allowed to run, but it worked out. It paid off. They get the roast just in time, XG, before Spirit initiate on them.
You lose the Aegis, but it's well worth it. You're kind of taking that one away from Spirit as well when you make this move. Spirit might look to fight soon. You see Radan's positioning. He's like, come on to this high ground. I've got Eclipse ready.
Yeah, 3 versus 5, though. It's not going to be something they'd be too happy with, indeed, unless XG walks straight into them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, nice move from XG.
Very clever. I love that they went for this type of Roche play. Very, very nice. Because you know that all of Spirit kind of split up after getting those kills. They didn't want to just straight run into the Roche, so they seized that opportunity perfectly.
Like Sam. Going to show himself in the mid. I mean, Radan's got the damage collapse. He's got the control. It's enough.
Got him. Arrow will connect, but doesn't matter. That's a huge kill.
It's always a risky thing to do when you feel as a player that things have calmed down. You can go for that tempting farm in the mid. It can cost you your life.
Especially if BKB is on cooldown. Gotta be careful versus Night Stalker. Anytime your BKB's down, he can just jump forward for you. And Radan.
XXS trying to step up.
They're feeling confident to push because there's still no Doom yet. 30 seconds.
Let's get jump in. Start to tease around with XXS, but he's a tough one to go on, especially with the backup of the defense matrix coming out.
15 seconds, no storm. They'll finish it off.
They can look to move up to the top tier 2 as well. The creep wave pushing in for Spirit.
Now this Luna's farm just continues to be absolutely ridiculous. Almost have a Pavis as well, so they're starting to get these items to amplify Radan as well too. They had the pipe before, but no actual offensive buff. Now they'll have at least that Pavis for him. And always do have to keep track. There are a lot of, I think, a greater healing Lotus on Mira for any of these heals. Of course, not versus Doom. And Radan now has a Conda.
He's hitting insane time.
He is hitting, and that damage for them versus the Muerta is pretty absurd.
If they get any sort of opening and DY is not in position to try and bail out Ame out, this Muerta dies very, very quickly at the moment.
There's just such a big hybrid of damage that Luna can provide that it's just difficult for Muerta to do much until you have, like, I guess now the next thing is the BKB for Ame. because defending him is going to be pretty impossible, because versus Night Stalker, you just can't see, right? One of those voids hit, you can't protect him.
Also amping up the damage output as well as he picks up the Nemesis Curse.
Oh, wait, it's a full Solar Crest on Miposhka. My bad. I thought he only had the Pavis, so they've already got that finished.
Yeah, Radan's going to be a problem.
He sure is.
In these team fights.
And Laurel now at this point also has a BKB, so he's going to be a lot harder to bring down. We saw he died in that last fight, pretty much exclusively to the Muertes damage. Now at the BKB, Laurel might just survive as well. 10 to 12, I mean, gold, very, very even. But yeah, just Radan, Yatoro is an absolute monster in the farm. And it's just a pretty cool matchup versus that Muerta because of this beam, how much damage it does, even during the ult.
Ame. He's been found. He's going to Hurricane Pike himself out to the side. We'll be able to get the Pierce the Veil off, and the backup from XG comes in. They turn towards Radan. They're able to slam down the Doom. He's going to pop the BKB and continue to put forward. Lara jumps in, and indeed Ame is left behind. They've taken down Ame. They will lose Radan, but the damage has been done. A double kill for Radan. Spirit, they'll be able to get the control on towards DY as well with the Dragon Tail. As Spirit, they'll take 3. And only
big
lose
kills.
1. It's a big one, of course, Radan going down, but 3 casualties on Xtreme Gaming to make that trade happen.
And I'm going to point out a little bit of a fun thing for people. So for people who don't know this interaction, how it works, if you're doomed and you get repelled, you actually lose HP because the strength bonus goes on you. I don't know if Miposhka just killed Yatoro, but there's a small chance that if he didn't use that repel there, I'd have to look at it to see the exact numbers of it, but you'll see when he throws it, it chunks his health by about 500 or something. So, I mean, we can look at it if you want in the replay and stuff, but just a little fun fact.
Sure, but I guess you take
I don't know if it mattered anyway.
I know
you know what I mean?
Proportionally, you're ruining his health pool, but you're still giving him the 60% magic resist, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
Well, he's not taking magic damage from other people?
Sure, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a funny little interaction thing, but yeah, anyway.
Hang on.
Jump forward.
Lol, he's actually able to TP out of this one. Miposhka and Mira, they won't be quite as lucky. Xtreme Gaming, they'll be able to punish the 2 supports. The Team Spirit stick around a little too long.
Good return kills. They will lose their tower there. But getting the support.
I check out the replay.
We want to see the replay anyway, because this was a very good fight for Spirit, just diving forward. Ame, you see how susceptible he is to all this magical burst. But you can watch the Luna's HP. As soon as he gets Heavenly Grace, watch his HP. You see how it like chunks a bit? It's like this weird kind of...
I mean, I think it did go for like... It was hundreds of HP that he effectively loses.
I mean, he was probably dead anyway, but I was just pointing out a fun little mechanic thing for those.
And it's basically because he's been given the strength, so his max HP can go up, but because he's doomed, the actual HP can't.
Yeah.
He's got some smiles on his face there, so...
Either way. I mean, they got what
maybe agreeing is like, hey, bro, I didn't need the repel.
I think he was dead anyway.
I think he probably was. He probably was. Either way, they were happy with that. They got 3 kills.
But they did lose heroes on the
They lose the heroes after. And XM, of course, getting both of those kills. After that's going to help propelling him towards his next time. Looks like he's going to be wanting to go for the Aghanims next on the Storm, have that bit of AoE control, something else to sort of allow them to get in and maybe find an easy way of getting a connection onto Miposhka before he can get these saves off.
Hey, to be honest, they need it pretty desperately. They have pretty much no control, no real catch on their lineup that is that great. So yeah, that Aghanims definitely will be pretty nice for him. He also gets the Arcane Rune at the end of it too, so potentially for that next fight, we'll have to see if that's a X factor. Seeing Laurel's next itemization, when you're playing versus Tinker, this tends to be picked up quite early on. That Nullifier is definitely going to be very important. Just burn these heroes down.
Radiant are scanning.
And honestly, next fight, we should start to see the full potential of Ame, Phil, because he's close to level 18, and he's close to his BKB.
Yeah.
And sure, there's still that gap between him and the Luna, but there's every reason to believe if he can find his position in the team fight, get the BKB, get the ult off, Muerta can still do a hell of a lot of damage.
This game in particular is one where heroes can just explode in a heartbeat. If there's a 3-man vortex or something, let's say when the Storm gets the pull, everybody could just die. Well, on the flip side, if Spirit gets a good initiation, Yatoro could just absolutely wipe everybody anyway, too. So, yeah, some explosive team fights that are definitely going to come out in these next few moments. Smoked up from XG. As you said, playing around this BKB timing of Ame.
I mean, he'd love to have that little bit of XP that he needs to push him over to the level 3 of Pierce the Veil, but sometimes honestly, when you got to fight, you got to fight.
All 3 cores on them are all 17.
They're very close, yeah.
It would be nice to have those 18s, but they want to take advantage of this timing. And Laurel actually goes Bloodthorn and Collapse finish up the Nullifier for himself, so swapping the items a little bit. They've got 2 big item timings.
Indeed, if they get that Nullifier and Bloodthorn down on a single target, they should have no trouble shredding through them.
Yep. And Radon is very close to Lincoln's also to block. And oh my goodness, of course he would find it. The amplify damage.
Watch out for this Luna.
And Yatoro, sorry, Radon has hit 20, right? So he's got this level 20 talent that's also crazy in these fights.
Oh, okay, Radon will show himself. Okay. So now at least Xtreme Gaming, they know. They know there's an amplified damage Luna coming their way. Let's see if it scares them off, or if they're going to say that they don't care and they're ready to fight regardless.
I mean, he broke that smoke because the beam with the lunicence, or the beam with the glaives bouncing, so whoopsie.
Radiant are scanning.
So Xtreme, sensibly so, they go fully defensive, making sure that Team Spirit aren't able to sneak up with this double damage Radon.
They killed those Ancients, so what does that mean? Muerta is 18. Storm is 18.
Here we go.
Not quite Doom yet. Important ones.
Could make the difference.
Position.
Roshan, what's the time? Minute and a half until we see his beautiful face again.
Spirit have the high ground in the mid lane. I mean, it's just some range creeps, but it is triple range creeps. They can start to work on the racks a little. They have a Tinker, so they'll be able to address it.
Yeah, DY's doing a lot. He's getting a fair bit out of the map during these kind of stealth moments in which the rest of the team's having to group up and go.
Oh, these are tense moments.
I mean, both teams are still hungry for a fight. They're not afraid of one another. They both feel strong.
Both playing just around their vision.
That's the creep gone, so not going to be able to get away with that DY, but he's going to be ready to go again if there's another entrance into the team fight.
Radon also has now shown, I mean, twice, but just in case they didn't notice the first time, has the Lincolns.
Yeah.
So, XXS, he has the Purge creep to be able to break it. Does have to be sure to do so.
And absolutely wants to keep doing this. Sure, Radon's able to get out a lot of damage, but pretty much getting the Doom on him gives them a solid chance of bringing down Radon, whatever else happens in the team fight.
Yeah, I mean, you absolutely have to throw it onto him.
Smoke time for both squads.
Oh, both really want to get the jump.
Who's going to walk into who first?
Pushka.
Oh, it's going to dispel it on Xtreme. They're going to pop the Shiva's guard. XXS is in. He's looking for his target. Radon's going to put the man in. To take the lickers off. Get the Doom down. XXS finds his target. They've taken out Pushka. Now they'll turn towards Collapse. Push him out to the side of the fight. XXS, he's in with the control. Towards Radon. The dead shot comes in from high. They're taking Radon down. The buyback's going to come out here from Pushka. Team Spirit. Can they really still find a fight out this? I don't think so. They've lost Radon. There's no fight left to be had. And into the tree line, they're even going to find Collapse as well. Xtreme Gaming, beautiful way to start things off there. The smoke gets dispelled. XXS, he's not scared at all.
Nope.
Goes straight in, finds his target, and makes sure, I believe what with the Purge creep active, you know, plays around the Manta, takes off the Lincolns, gets the Doom down onto Radon.
And Radon tried to do the little, you know, Manta kind of tricky play there, but it doesn't matter. XXS, he got it.
He did.
Perfect target. Couldn't ask for a better initiation, couldn't ask for the better fight, and the damage, there it is from the Muerta with the Solar Flare. That's the fight they needed to blow the game open. And, you know, the greediness of their draft, it really wasn't punished enough, it feels like. Now they've hit a huge timing.
This is XXS straight in, and immediately he knows what's up, knows who to deal with, gets that Doom in, and at that point, the fight, it gets awkward.
Yep.
You've got Arme in perfect position, splitting them up. Team Spirit, they cannot fight on. XM follows up on towards Radon, make sure that there's nothing to be done. They get huge kills, and they now start to grow a pretty significant advantage, considering how close this game's been on the numbers. It's now an 8K lead for Xtreme Gaming. They're pushing on, and they're starting to catch up. That sort of distance between Radon and XG's carries, it's going to start closing.
Yeah, I think that was, I mean, by far the most important fight for them. They've now got every single timing. Aghanims is done on the Storm. The support, the greed, everything is absolutely paid off for them.
It really has. Team Spirit, they've got a lot of problems to deal with now.
Yep. And I love that XXS is doing this. I mean, we saw Gunner in particular the other day, a couple of these Dooms, of course, too, but having this Purge creep, you know, as you said, it's so important just having this extra Lincolns. But besides that, I actually saw him trying to purge allies as well versus, like, Bloodthorn and stuff like that. So this creep, it's very powerful. And yeah, XG now with a huge surge of momentum.
Absolutely, and the damage that Arme's going to start doing is going to start getting ridiculous. The Daedalus very close to being finished.
That was really loud for me. I don't know about you, but the nightmare. And just to highlight a few other things, I mean, Jin-Q, it's been a little bit quiet from him, I would say, just in terms of like arrows and all these type of crazy stuff, but look at his items. It's like the dream to play with this if you are a carry. You've got Solar Crest, you've got Vlad's drums, and then the Solar Flare, of course, that comes up.
Bottom tower is under attack.
So much amp up for this Muerta now at this point. And the Aghanims, it's done for the Storm. Radon, continue pressuring bottom. But they have to find a way to just... I mean, they have to find a way to just make sure that Radon doesn't get doomed, it feels like.
Yeah, I mean, item-wise, it's got to be exactly what he's going for. Getting the Shadow Blade into the Silver Edge so he can make sure that at the start of these movements, the start of these fights, he's under the cover of the Invis. And then it suddenly becomes that extra level of difficulty for XXS to find him first.
Yeah, I think that's like the only... It's starting to feel like maybe one of the few ways that Spirit can actually bring this game back into some comfort is only if Radon doesn't get doomed. But yeah, not going to be easy at this point now. Ame, a full dataless onto the high ground. Level 20's been hit also.
He's getting to do exactly what he hoped to do from the sounds of it before this draft, before this game even started. He turned up today wanting to play some Muerta. It's starting to look pretty darn good now.
I mean, he's 2-4-8, so it's not been the most explosive one from him, but, yeah, but he's the concept of it.
He's got the aims. It's at this point when you got your Mayone, your Daedalus, you know, you're good to go.
Now he's the carry.
You know the heroes are going to get absolutely destroyed by the amount of damage that's going to be coming out for you during the Pierce the Veil.
Yeah.
They take the barracks. Not a lot the Team Spirit could do, not anything they could do to stop that from happening. Xtreme Gaming, they are definitely in the driver's seat right now. Spirit,
they look like they're going to keep going.
Crazy, and XM is ready with jumping up to the high ground. Guardian Angel comes out. Lyle considering turning with the BKB over towards XM, but XM was also able to get the BKB out and zap away.
This damage is crazy with Solar Flare.
Look at this, the barracks. A second set of racks just melting. Team Spirit have to put the fortification. They've got to do something soon, but still into this minute and a half or so left on the Aegis of Arme.
And everyone's got, I mean, Solar Flare's down, but Doom is at the ready. I mean, Spirit, they're starting to inch their way forward, but DK form, it's gone. Difficult place to fight under here.
Spirit stepping outside of the base, but XG there. Kind of hovering in the shadows.
Ame?
Ame's going to show. Just a bit of a bait, if anything.
1 minute. If Spirit can even find an opportunity to capitalize as this Aegis is getting reclaimed, because the gold, I mean, everyone's just starting to get richer and richer. Xingqiu.
Oh, they're going to make the jump. They're going to try and get the Verona first. Easily able to take down Xingqiu. Now the Kiss is coming in from the high ground. There's a lot of damage being kicked out here by Mira. It's getting low. They've been able to burst through the Aegis. A buyback immediately comes out from Xingqiu. Xtreme want to make sure they're in position to try and keep Arme safe. You still got the BKB and the Pierce the Veil to play around with if he does get jumped by Spirit. Spirit, they're considering if they can make another move out of this.
Watch the patience from XM. He has been watching and waiting, looking for an opportunity to get the pull if they open
up onto Arme's ready to open up onto him, and the damage comes out. It's an immediate kill. An immediate kill there from the two of them. Collapse. And Radon.
The Silver Edge.
They completely evaporate him.
I mean, what? Double Havoc Hammer into Silver Edge sneak up onto him. That was totally unexpected.
Yeah, he wasn't ready for that one, Arme.
60 seconds. Actually, some time perhaps that they can look for a push and maybe try to force something here.
Okay. See what Spirit can get done.
That was very unexpected.
Yeah. And now Spirit. Down to the high ground of Xtreme Gaming. XM's going to try and start the fire. He's in with the Vortex. Straight away in response. And Lars in with the stone on the Vortex XS. Follow from Collapse. They're bringing him down low on the Doom. Can they finish what they can? They've killed XXS off.
Oh,
and
no
now
way.
they can continue to push on towards the barracks.
Oh, that's massive.
Trying to keep them pushed back. The fortification will come out. Still 30 seconds until Arme's back up. XXS dead for a minute. Does have the option of buyback.
He had cooldown on BKB. He walked up without that BKB and gets caught.
I mean, just underestimating the damage that Spirit are able to come out with.
Spirit showing they've still got
this. Second fortification coming out here from Xtreme. 10 seconds until Arme's up.
Trying to get as much as physically possible. 40 seconds. They can keep going and just try to maybe force a Doom buyback.
I mean, Radon, he's got Eclipse up in 5 seconds. He's got BKB in 10. He's going to get jumped here. There's going to be the two-man vortex coming out for XM. And they got the forward to take out Radon. No, Radon's able to sneak away with the Silver Edge. Repel thrown down on the Collapse. He's out of BKB. Collapse is going to go for the BKB TP. Spirit, they're just going to bail out of this. Mirror, is he able to get out with the TP in time? Anything to stop him? There isn't. Mirror escapes. They've got a sentry down from Maposhka. He'll pop the Guardian Angel, but Maposhka will get left behind. So Xtreme Gaming, they'll get the 2 kills, able to take down Lyle, take down Maposhka, but it does require that buyback from XXS to come out.
Dude, but this Silver Edge is working. I cannot believe how much it's actually able to get done there. It gets the kill on Ame to cause this type of spiral effect that just causes, I mean, XG to pretty much be in panic to have to defend these Raxes, and they still end up losing a full set and the range Rax. Super impressive stuff, but XG, it feels like with this, they're going to look to push down the mid lane.
Let's see what they can do. They're very close as well to having the money for Arme to have the safety of buyback. He's just under 200 gold short of it.
XXS has to be incredibly careful, though.
Look at Radahn. He's kind of making this move.
Is he going to steal this?
I mean, there's an amplified damage rune there. He's incredibly tempted, but he's not going to go for it. Far too risky with him being on his own. And now this push is going to come in with Arme having an amplified damage rune in the bottle. He's ready to pop it, get it out now. I believe he's got the full Lincolns coming out as well.
There's no
Arme,
glyph.
he's ready to go again.
Yeah, there's no glyph for this high ground either.
Barracks are under attack.
Radahn, he's hit the 25.
I'm just watching for the flank positioning of him, really.
10 seconds until they've got Meposhka up. The mid-racks, Xtreme Gaming, they're able to claim them this time round. And again,
this game is wild.
It's stepping up to be one of those games, 18 to 18. It's not a huge amount of kills of 42 minutes in, but this game is delivering.
The smoke up XG. They want to try to catch them off guard here. They still have got a little bit of left of the amp damage.
He's going to try to jump. He goes straight towards Radahn. Radahnn's able to get the BKB in the clips up, but he's been caught by the Doom. Radahn is falling so fast. He's got to buy back immediately. Collapse. Jumping over towards the supports in the back lines. The Doom did get reflected, so XXS has to back out of the fight for now. Collapse. He's in on top of GQ, takes him down. Lar's getting low, but Arme, he's the first to fall, and Larly's ready to jump in and look for more. XM has to go for the ball. TP if they got anything to stop it. They don't.
Look at these death timers.
Uh-oh.
Wait a minute. 80 seconds no muerta, 100 on Marana and Doom.
Oh, Arme had money for buyback. I guess he spent up on the Lincoln's orb, the ultimate orb, to get the Lincoln sphere. So he doesn't have buyback.
They might. Oh my. Okay. XM and DY might. They have to kind of cut this creep wave in the mid lane.
XM will care.
He missed.
He missed.
He missed. They popped glyph also, but he missed.
Well, he'll get this creep wave at least. But yeah, there's one of them heading straight towards the base of Xtreme Gaming.
Laurel?
It's 2 versus 5.
Oh, and they might just be able to end this.
I think they have. They're going to be able to do it.
He buys a moon shard on Radahn. They're looking to close it out. There's no glyph.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, no way. This is how it
They're
ends.
on to the tier 4s. They don't have the buybacks. XXS is on cooldown. Arme doesn't have the money. It's absolutely over.
It's over.
Ladies and gentlemen, Team Spirit on to the Ancient. They'll take game 1.
What is going on? This game was unbelievable. All right, back and forth we go in this one, and then one overextension, I guess, and they didn't expect the buybacks coming in from